and we are going to talk some Andy Pages. Man, this dude is super, super, super talented. He has every single tool. You're looking at Jay Buhner here, and he's the guy that I compare him to. You know, if you look mechanically, they're almost identical, and also statistically, Buhner and their K percentages are almost identical. Their base on ball percentages are almost identical, and their batting average and balls and plays are almost identical as well. So their home run rates are pretty similar. So the guy I compare Andy Pages to is Jay Buhner. So what do you think about that comparison?
I think it's spot on, man. I really like the swing. If you look at that picture, you know, the lean, the posture, the approach to the baseball, it's really, really similar.
So he's growing into that right field role, and I tell you what, man, as you see in these videos, he has an absolute bazooka, not a cannon, a bazooka for an arm. This dude can absolutely flat throw a baseball.
Yeah, man. The high school baseball coach in me wonders how hard he used to throw off the bump. I mean, because there's no way in the world you can tell me that he didn't used to pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, especially growing up.
Special arm talent. I mean, check that arm out. Just
no doubt.
Absolute missile.
Yeah.
I think if you go and you build a right fielder in MLB The Show, that's kind of a guy that you want him to look like, you know, with the strong arm.
17.6% walk rate at the AA level. 17.6, and his strikeout rate was only 22.5% last year. So that's pretty incredible. And Austin Brubaker talks about this all the time. When your independent strength numbers, your ISO numbers, are anywhere close to your strikeout rate. His ISO last year at the AA level, which he got hurt in his first AAA game, so the AA level is literally the only data that you have to evaluate him by. At the AA level last year, his ISO was 211. His K percentage was 22.5. So those were very, very, very similar. And because of that, that tells you that his trade-off between striking out and hitting home runs is a fairly elite trade-off. And so that's a very, very good thing for him. Also, the WRC Plus was at 144. He was 44% above league average for the AA Tulsa Drillers last year. And look at him, man. He's in great shape. And I also always talk about this with Andy Pages as well. I went back and I just confirmed it today. In 2 out of his last 3 years, he has hit over twice as many fly balls as he has ground balls. And last year, his pull percentage was over 50%. So he's hitting over 50% of his balls to the pull side, like we've seen already in spring training. And he's hitting twice as many fly balls as he is ground balls. That tells you right there that he is going to be able to get the ball in the air to the pull side. And when you get the ball in the air to the pull side, that's where you get a lot of home runs. Now, here's why he pulls the ball, but it's not a bad thing for him. What I want you to watch is how what I call he covers the plate right here. He leans out over the plate. See right there? See how he's leaning out? Let me stop that and back that up just a touch. Okay, see how he's leaned out over the plate? So what that's going to do is, even if you don't lift the hands, which he doesn't, he does not lift his hands to get the ball in the air. What he does is he uses his spine angle. See how athletic he is in the lower half? And see, this is what I call tilt. Okay, this is not lean. Lean is straight backwards. Lean, where you lean backwards, is where you swing up. This is simply tilt, which means he's tilting out over the plate, which is going to make his bat angle like this. See that bat angle like that, which is more of a 45-degree angle? Okay, see that bat angle? That's exactly what I'm talking about. He's done that without having to lean back and trying to swing up the ball. He is not swinging up this ball. His hands are coming flat, but yet he still has this negative of a bat angle. So that is a perfect setup for a guy that wants to hit home runs but not strike out, because you're going to be able to get the ball in the air with that severely negative of a bat angle, but then you're going to be able to do it by not lifting. Watch his hands. His hands are not lifting. His hands are actually going down to that ball. They lift in the front of the zone like they should, but they don't lift to the baseball. So for those reasons, Andy Pages has a world of potential to be a home run guy that strikes out. There's another pull ball. You see him leaned out over the plate. That strikes out 20, 22, 23% of the time, which in today's day and game, you would take that. He lost 25 to 35 pounds last year. He was playing a lot of center field, so he's played left field, center field, right field, and he has the best outfield arm in the system. This guy has the full package. Just got to stay healthy. Got hurt his first game up. He got promoted to AAA last year and actually hurt his shoulder in his first game.
Yeah, this kid, man, what can you say about Andy Pages? There might be a little bit of fatigue about him, perhaps as a prospect. He's somebody who's been on notice as far as the prospect world ever since his phenomenal 2021 season in which he had a 152 WRC plus. Andy Pages is incredibly talented he has a ton of tools. You mentioned it, the power. The power is the thing that sticks out perhaps the most with Andy Pages. He can hit 30 home runs. He's the Great Lakes Loons single season and franchise home run record holder for the Great Lakes Loons. You talk about him. He can hit a ton of power. It's also something where he is also dynamic as well. He can take his walks. He's going to generate 12 to 15% walk percentage. And you mentioned the strikeout percentage is going to be around 22 to 25%.
That's good.
Which for the amount of power that he produces is really, really good. He has a bazooka for an arm in the outfield, kind of projects as a right fielder because of that great arm. And you look at the past couple of seasons, WRC plus, I mentioned 152 in 2021 for the Great Lakes Loons. That is
165 and 219, and his WRC plus last year was 144.
Yeah, his WRC plus last year, and it's a real shame that he got injured last season because I think he was about to break out and make a real difference and possibly make his big league debut last season because he was really starting to break out. But as I was mentioning in 2021, he had a 152 WRC plus throughout the full season, and over a large sample size, as I discussed actually in the article that I released about Austin Gauthier, if you post even just one season of 150 WRC plus and at least 400 plate appearances, since 2006, 75% of those players make the big leaguers. And out of those 75%, 25% of those are all-stars.
Wow.
Which is way above average as far as a minor league player. That's a really good indication that Andy Pages not only is going to make the major leagues, but he has a chance to do something special when he makes the big leagues. And it is very evident with the tools that he has.